The NFL regular season has finally come to a close. Teams are preparing for the off season. Some of them have already started their off season by firing coaches. And I respect it. But there are some teams, 14 in particular, that have made it to the postseason whose seasons are still alive and could potentially make the postseason. The Super Wildcard weekend has started, and now it's time. Who's going to the Super Bowl? Who's going to be on the couch for it? Only one way to find out. Let's begin. Hello, Steelers Nation! Welcome to another episode of Steelcast, the podcast where you don't have to be a Steelers fan. But it sure does help. I'm your host, Zach. Steelers gonna get Super Bowl Stairway to 7 attack. And today, we're gonna be breaking down the 6 wildcard games for Super Wildcard Weekend this week and who do I think is gonna win. My regular season came to a close in the Pick'em League. I finished 10-6 this week and 13-3 the previous week, and I'm closing with a 176-96 record. So props to me on my first season for doing relatively solid, I dare say. And now it's time to see who's going to go to the Super Bowl. These ones don't really matter as much, but I'm still doing them because, we gotta break down the postseason games. I still gotta do my job. So we're gonna start with the first of 2 Saturday games, and that's gonna be the Cleveland Browns taking on the Houston Texans. The Browns losing last week to the Bengals, but they were resting Joe Flacco and most of their starters, so it made sense. Everyone in the AFC North finishing with winning records this season, which is crazy to think about. Imagine if all of our teams actually were Super Bowl caliber. We'd just be beating each other up. And basically whoever had the most injuries at the end of the season was the one that was not going to make the postseason, let alone the playoffs. So, yeah, the key did not go me out. But the Browns have made it in and have probably the best defense in franchise history that they've ever had before and have never made it to an AFC Championship game. This could be the season under Joe Flacco that they pull that off. They're going up against the Houston Texans. I almost said Indianapolis. I don't know why. But the Houston Texans, who are led by C.J. Stroud, and they don't have Tank Dell. And they have a few injuries, but not as many as the Browns. But they're a young football team. And I feel like their inexperience will hold them back. And it's going to be played in Houston. And I'm excited to see this. The Houston Texans winning the division for the first time in who knows how long. I don't even know if the Texans have even ever won the division before. And if they have, there might have been one time under Deshaun Watson where they won the division. But this is the first time I can actually recall it, vividly remember it happening. And I'm sure this is going to be the one ingrained in Texans fans' minds for a long time to come. They found their franchise guy. They just need to build around him. And regardless of win or lose, they know they have a bright future. I am going to pick the Browns to win this because I feel they are the more balanced team even with all their injuries. I expect Joe Flacco to have a heyday against that weak Texans secondary. But that defense has stepped up as of late. So don't expect an easy game for the Browns. Expect things to be a little bit of a fight, especially at their home field. But I do have the Browns winning and making it to the divisional round. Oh boy. Then you have the Miami Dolphins taking on the Kansas City Chiefs at Saturday night. Tyreek Hill versus his old team, his I guess now nemesis team, one that gave him a ring, and he missed out on a second one, but we're not going to worry about it. The Dolphins, bodied with injuries, mostly on the defensive side of the ball, which is really going to be good for Kansas City. They are going to try and contain Travis Kelce, because what I've learned this season is with the Chiefs offense, if you contain Travis Kelce, they struggle to get things going on offense, even with people like Patrick Mahomes as the quarterback. So I'm sure the battle plan for the Dolphins is, even though they're really banged up, and they still have Jalen Ramsey back there. So, they don't really have any more pass rushers for like the rest of the season. If they can contain Travis Kelce, they can force Isaiah Pacheco to take the ball, and they can predict when they're going to run, when they're going to throw, and double team Travis Kelce when they throw. So I think that'll be a good, solid strategy for the Dolphins going into this game. Of course, Tua, you can't sleep on Tua with people like Jalen Waddle and Tyreek Hill being his main go-to guys. However, I feel like they can still that they're still going to be able to contain the offense of the Dolphins, because there is some injuries on it, and even though Tyreek Hill is going to play, you think that his former team knows how to handle it. Knows how to handle him. They did train him after all, so yeah. I do have the Chiefs winning this game, and sorry, Dolphins, but the run might end here. And then the first of 3 Sunday games, you have the Pittsburgh Steelers taking on the Buffalo Bills. The Steelers squeaking it in because the Titans decided to be gracious and help us. Thank you, Titans, because the Dolphins didn't win. So if the Dolphins didn't win, we wouldn't be here right now. So, going up against the Buffalo Bills, who are pretty inconsistent but have resurged as of late, which does scare me a bit. TJ Watt suffering a grade 2 ankle sprain against the Baltimore Ravens last week, and he is already been announced not going to play. And the Steelers have only ever won 1 game without him, and that was when Tom Brady was on his down year, playing his last season for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, and Kenny Pickett's first win as a starter. So, I am scared. I do not know if the Steelers are going to win this game. I want them to. I obviously want the Steelers getting a Super Bowl, but it is going to be a tough one. If the Steelers can get past the Bills, they do have a chance. The last time the Steelers were the last seed in a playoff spot and they went to the Super Bowl was Super Bowl 40, and that was a long time ago. But that was Big Ben's second year. So it is very, very possible, even with the squad that we have, despite TJ Watt being out for at least this week, to make it back all the way. It is going to be hard, sure. Very, very tough. But the Steelers are going to go Super Bowl, and there's nothing we can do to stop it. The Bills are pretty inconsistent, though. Sometimes they show up and they're slinging balls everywhere and running it with James Cook, and the other times they're just not getting into him at all, and they're making mistakes on offense. So I really hope the Bills that we fight are the incompetent ones, because if they're the incompetent ones, we have a chance. And if we lose to the incompetent Bills, well, that just shows how bad we are. I'm obviously going to pick the Steelers. I'm not going to be a homer. I am going to be a homer. But I will give my props to the Bills. I do think they should beat us, but I hope they don't, is all I'm trying to say. I feel like the Steelers' run might end here, but I hope I'm wrong. Steelers, please get the win for me. I will be forever grateful. Then you have the afternoon game. You have the Green Bay Packers. I keep screwing my stuff up, but it's fine. You have the Green Bay Packers taking on the Dallas Cowboys. And Mike McCarthy, being a former Green Bay Packer coach, knows the Packers well. But of course, the last time these two teams met, Aaron Rodgers was there. And where is he now? At home on the couch with the Jets. So, Jordan Love, though, has been playing pretty darn well as of late. Actually, I think number 2 in terms of passing touchdowns. So, I mean, hey, who am I to judge? The Packers tend to be the Cowboys' kryptonite some of the time, and it could be possible. They're gonna walk into Dallas, and Dallas is undefeated at home this season. The only team that was even remotely close to beating them at their own court was Detroit, but of course, bad officiating led to their victory. We won't talk about that anymore, though. Yeah. So I do have the Cowboys winning this game. They did blow out the Commanders last week. We all expected them to. The Packers beating the Bears. The Bears were a resurging team, so it makes sense for them to at least struggle a little bit. But they're going up against a Joe Barry defense, so I expect Dak Prescott to have a heyday. And I do have the Cowboys winning this game at home against the Pack. So I'm sorry. Pack. No Super Bowl 45 rematch for us. Then you have the Sunday night game. You have the LA Rams taking on the Detroit Lions, and which is probably my favorite matchup of the season of the Super Bowl Wildcard weekend. Sure, there's the Tyreek Hill revenge game, and of course C.J. Stroud's first playoff game, and at home, but the Lions, for the first time in franchise history, have won the North and are hosting a playoff game. And their former QB, Matthew Stafford, is coming to town. This is going to be a game for the centuries. If the Lions win this game, there will be hope, there will be optimism back there in Detroit. They did play their starters, and Sam Laporta will not be playing because he is hurt. And there are some injuries on the Lions, not that many on the Rams. The Rams have a chance. Matthew Stafford knows that team very, very well. And I dare say that I'm excited for this game. The Rams have a chance to win with Puka Nacua and Cooper Kupp, Matthew Stafford, Kyren Williams, Aaron Donald still on that defense. They have a chance to come back and win. And win this game against the Lions. But I do know that Dan Campbell, with his hard knocks and kneecap biting, really wants to win this game. And I don't blame him. I am going to pick the Lions to win at Ford Field. That crowd is going to be electric. And I know the Lions are really, 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 really going to want a playoff win at home. They have won playoff games before as a franchise, but that was with Barry Sanders when they made the NFC Championship game that one year, but lost to Washington, and they ended up winning the Super Bowl that year. But they haven't made it back since Barry Sanders' time. Sure, there was Megatron, but with Matthew Stafford, and they've only made it to the playoff twice when that duo was around, but they didn't win a playoff game. So the last time the Detroit Lions won a playoff game was the Barry Sanders era. And of course, that era is long gone. So the Lions are going to be looking for the first postseason win in 30 years. So yeah. Can they do it? Yes, they can. Are they going to? Different story. So, but I do have the Lions winning, and I have my fingers crossed that they get healthy and they get healthy fast. Because I want to see them try and make it all the way and possibly get the revenge on Dallas. So Lions, you get the win, hopefully, and you keep on biting kneecaps and chugging along. And then, Monday night, you have the Philadelphia Eagles taking on the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Baker Mayfield coming back to the postseason. scary times with Pittsburgh is what it was. But now he's playing with Tampa. Can the Baker magic continue? He did not do so hot against the Carolina Panthers, shutting them out though 9-0, resting Baker Mayfield, and Kyle Trask looked like garbage. But at least as a defense of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers looked pretty good. Now the Eagles are a concerning team right now, considering they've lost 5 of their last 6. 49ers, Dallas, Seahawks, then they beat the Giants, and they lost to the Cardinals, and then they lost to the Giants this past weekend. However, they are still in the postseason and can still potentially make the dance. Are they going to? With Matt Patricia as the DC? I don't like the chances of the Eagles. I do like the chances of the Eagles winning this game. But the Eagles making it all the way is probably not happening. And I'm not saying that because, I don't like Matt Patricia, which I don't, by the way. He's a terrible coach. You should not have him as your DC. Why'd you hire the guy? I don't understand. You were doing fine without him, and then you hired him, and then everything went to crap. So, yeah. If y'all get blown out this game, y'all should fire Matt Patricia. I'm just going to come out there and say it. But if you guys do, somehow, some way, pull out the win, you'll be playing the 49ers again. And I don't think you want to do that. Of course, whoever basically wins this game, seeing my other 2 predictions are correct, will be playing the 49ers regardless, so I guess it's not really that much of a problem. Anyways, I do have the Eagles winning, only because I do like Baker in this moment playing at home against the Eagles, but I just want to have some faith that the Eagles can at least win a playoff game, even though they probably aren't going to make it all the way. If they at least win this week, it'll make me feel like, okay, they weren't frauds. They were just, not in their mojo, if you will. But yeah, y'all, please just don't lose this game. If you guys lose this game, that's on you. That's on you. Like, you guys should be able to beat the Buccaneers, no problem. You got the Jalen Hurts guy at the helm, but Hurts is hurting, pun intended. So, yeah, he'll play. I'm not saying he's injured, but things are looking rough there in Philly. So I do have the Eagles winning, but it might be a very close defensive shootout or offensive shootout because both offenses are pretty solid. So we'll see. But I do the Eagles winning. And actually, spoiler alert, I might be able to stream it. I did get an antenna recently, and the only cable NFL game stuff I can get is only on ABC. This game is on ABC. So I might be able, emphasis on might, be able to stream it. I don't know if I will, but if I can, I will 100% be streaming this game. So look forward to that. I don't know if I'll put the announcement out, but if you're subscribed with bell notifications, then you'll be alerted. But if you're not subscribed with bell notifications, you should fix that, and then you should subscribe. And make sure you don't miss any of these videos or any potential football live streams that could potentially happen. So, but let me know what you think down in the comments below. Those are my NFL Super Wildcard predictions. Who do you got winning this week? Who do you got making it all the way? Let me know down in the comments below. I am your host. My name is Zach Attack. And as always, you're in Steel's country.